It is the end of May and I'm standing in this beautiful wildflower meadow with sainfoin just over the blackthorn hedge here and some nice woodland behind. I want to talk a little bit about what goes on in May at Daylesford Farm that's helping the bees, because there's an awful lot going on. The bees around May, sometimes into June, are swarming. They are finding their new homes, they're dividing as a colony. That's their reproduction, effectively, is swarming. We allow them to do that naturally. We don't sort of wing clip the queen, which some beekeepers like to do, and we don't kill out our queens every 2 or 3 years to increase the sort of honey production, which is another method of beekeeping. We allow the bees to be managed by their queen and the colony by themselves. It's a more natural method of beekeeping. We follow a lot of the direction from Bees for Development, a very good organisation with some resources on Agricology, and we actually support them in the business as well. The reason for this is to try and get a population of bees which is suited to the land around them. It's a bit like farming livestock, it's a bit like getting the right cow for the environment. And the bees swarming are reproducing naturally as they would in the wild. The queens are allowed to go off and mate as they would in the wild with the drones, and that population that's developing, hefted to the land around them, is what we're going for. That has been proven to be successful by the fact we've got wild bees here. I mean, all bees to a degree are wild, but we've got wild populations of bees, honeybees. For instance, in this magnificent ash tree behind us, there is about 30 foot up, a big broken, hollowed out branch, and we've had a swarm out of that branch already, and there's still a strong colony left behind. So that is some of our wild genetics that are supporting our own managed beehives. We've gone for a WBC beehive here. That gives a little bit more insulation around the super and brood box, good for overwintering. And just the management of the land around us, we can see a fairly heavily managed wildflower meadow here. The hay is cut off after flowering and the nutrients stripped away, and that's a great way of encouraging diversity in the wildflower lay. Just the other forage that we grow on the farm, the red clover, the white clover, the sainfoin, all fantastic nectar and pollen sources through the year. And the trees, the hedgerows and so on, also looked after to maximise what's available from the start, from snowdrops and right at the beginning of the season, right the way through to ivy at the end of the season. The bees need year-round forage. So we're doing what we can for bees. Lots of resources on Agricology to help with that. And here's to a successful swarming season.